Our next speakers are Luboš and Adéla, and they will be talking about, I suppose, streaming again, right?
Right.
From a different perspective.
Yeah, but not such technical as in previous presentation. It will be more about visualizations. How easy it is in Power BI tool to visualize real-time data. Hi everyone. Just the first couple of questions. Who has ever heard about Power BI? Great, it's
more than Java developers.
Yeah, because 2 years ago there was an event in Data Pivo in Faculta Informatiky where I presented Power BI as an introduction to Power BI, and it was just a few of you who heard about Power BI. It was really new tool. Today we will not talk about that, but I will just say a few words about Power BI for those who don't know this tool. Maybe one more question: who has ever played or worked with Power BI? Okay, same people the same. Okay, perfect. So Power BI, what is Power BI? Power BI is a Microsoft tool which can integrate data from several sources, from on-premise data, from cloud data, from any kind of data. Then it goes to transformation, cleansing, like ETL processes, and then to visualize, report, share, and spread reports to audience. What we will talk about is this kind of Power BI service. It's called Power BI REST API, which helps to create real-time reports in this tool. The first part will be made by myself. It will be more theoretical about the concept of real-time and streaming data processing and analytics, and then Adéla will show you the real-time demo with some data and with some visualizations about data from machines, and so you will see. So just let me introduce some concepts. As I said, it will be not so technical, so you know now how streaming works. So now I will just show you how it goes well with Power BI. You can forget on all the technical things. It's covered by the system, so you will need just know which tools and which processes you will need to use to make it live. There are two possible options to work with real-time data in Power BI. The first option is using the streaming data, where we use several components. Several components with Power BI. It's from Azure services. It's called Event Hub and Stream Analytics. Incoming data goes to Event Hub. It's such kind of stage which collects data in some stacks, and then the Stream Analytics part of Azure, it reads the data and process data and send data through the Power BI REST API to Power BI to make reports live. There are some advantages, some disadvantages of this approach in comparison to the second one, which is more like a pushing data into the Power BI. This advantages is it's very good in from the latency point of view. As a colleague, as Vladimir told, streaming, it's immediately response with incoming data onto the report. When some event occurs, then you see it in the visual in just a second. But in the Power BI and with this concept, it has some disadvantages. You can't do any aggregations there. Yeah, you can write any SQL query or any kind of query, any DAX query if you know Power BI. So you can't type DAX query and put it into that stream and to calculate anything. So what you get, you just display in the reports. So you must think about it. And in the stream analytics part, you need to write a code which helps you to return what you need, like year to date or accumulate things or stuff like that. Then the second cons is there are no history stored. It's just a streaming. It only stores data for 1 hour, just to show you trends, just to show you what is actually in a data stream, in an event hub and stream analytics. So don't expect some like a trends for more than an hour to show in the report. And the third cons is there is like a no report functionalities. Who you know Power BI, you know that there are two kind of like a visuals, like reports and dashboards. Reports are the primer one, which you use for creating your visuals and reports, and then you can pin reports or just tiles to the dashboards, which you can combine from multiple sources, data sets, reports to create the dashboards. This kind of solution with the streaming data sets and streaming data, you can't create reports, so you create just the tiles with the streaming data. So it looks like this. And you just create the tile and it will be automatically refreshed or not refreshed. It will be push data or stream data will appear as it appears in the event hub. So it's one approach. We will get more insight about how it works in Power BI and which approach you can use for a certain scenario, as I will talk about the pushing data. I don't know if you have, any one of you have been were in DataConf 2 or 3 years ago. There was we had a showcase there which showed the Power BI real time using the streaming data approach. It was about collecting tweets. So in real time, everyone who tweeted about the DataConf hashtag automatically appeared in the report. So there was a message or the tweet, there was information who won tweets most and so on. And also there was our application which was designed to scan your face, and using the Microsoft Oxford project, it scanned your face and detect how old are you and which gender are you. And so it was to show how it works and how quickly it can stream your data. Yeah? So for just online streaming data, it worked very well, but there is no history, which we need sometimes. So that's one approach. The second approach is using the pushing data. It's not streaming, so there are some disadvantages of this approach. So you need to count with some latency, but you will see in our demo that that the latency for the visualization is not the case. Yeah? If you just have the data every second to reflect it in the visual, I think it's still good for the reporting of the real-time data mostly. So that's the pushing data. So there are some disadvantages. It can be reflected just 1 time per 1 second, but you can push their data multiple times. So you can use Power BI REST API, which which will push data from your incoming data source. It can be whatever, just your custom application, any cloud application, and it using the REST API, you will push data to Power BI. It doesn't matter if it's 1 per second or even more frequent. It will like reload or reflect the visualization 1 per second. There is the second disadvantage is that it can only store 1 million rows per 1 hour. So if you need more data to have in this dataset, then you need some other approach. I will talk later about some complex scenarios. About the pros of this approach is that it costs the minimal of what you can imagine, because you need just the Power BI Pro license. So every user who consumes this report needs to pay for Power BI Pro $10 per month per user. You don't need the Azure Stream Analytics, Azure Event Hub, so you will save about $200-$500 per month because you don't need to consume these services. It depends how much data you will have. Then it's very easy to implement. There is a library with the REST API, so yeah, you will see just an example of a code which generates the data. It's really easy to implement. You need just the JSON, which you know in advance how it looks, and you need to generate this pushing mechanism in C# or whatever tool to implement this pushing. Then you can use all the functionalities of Power BI, so even the report, even the QA. You will see in the demo how it works, and yeah, that's it. I will not spend much time with the code, just to show that this is some like a generator of the streaming data, and you can see it's just a few rows which will generate once per second some records to Power BI dataset using the REST API. So nothing difficult. Just you can try, and even with your laptop you can try it with your own data.
So the average number should be 50, right? If it's random between 0 and 100.
Yes. Okay. Then I have just the like a quick comparison of those approaches. Capability of Power BI and what enable push or streaming approach. Dashboard tiles update in real time. Yes, both, but in the push you create reports, standard way how you create the Power BI reports and visuals. So you create reports, and from reports you create the dashboards. Only in dashboards the data will be real time. In the reports it will be refreshed 1 per minute or in some random mechanism, but in dashboard, in the tiles, it will be refreshed automatically. You will see. In streaming, it's you need to use the tiles, and then it's much more smooth for creating report. Yeah, that's smooth animations. That's what I said. Data stored permanently in Power BI. Yes, just for pushing. With streaming, no. Build Power BI reports at the top of the data. Yes, in the pushing, streaming, no. And this is just the technical aspects. As I said, that for the streaming, it can process even like 5 requests per second to visualize in the trends and in the report. So then it's much better. And yeah, as I said, there is 1 million rows per hour in the pushing dataset. So is this just to approach to consider if you?
Okay. I've got a question. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the Power BI in detail. But you mentioned that when you have the streaming model, there is some kind of a stream processing which can transform the data. But with the push model, you have like the application, and then you have the Power BI application where the data are transformed into the reports.
from your application, which generates that the transfer, which is that event processing, and you need to create your own mechanism to push data in some frequency.
Okay, so you are just pushing the finished data into the Power BI and just showing them. Okay.
And it depends on you how often you need it. In this scenario, which we implemented, and we will show you, it was like 1 per 10 seconds. It was enough for the use case. And you can make it in 1 per 1 once per seconds at the best option.
Mm-hmm.
I have another question. So the pushing is storing the data for the rest of our lives. There is no limit.
Yeah, but
You have to pay more.
no, it's just
More data,
I will not say that for the rest of the life, because you push it into some like a whole. It's a Power BI data set which you don't have any access to work with the data, to pull data from it to other systems, to backup, and so still consider it's for a long time, but it's not scenario for forever. I will show you. Then, if you need more complex scenario, then you need to use more Microsoft and Azure applications. No, more you pay, more you get. Okay, so you saw that the streaming process, which you can use for really real-time data. But it's just as it goes, then it displays and it throws the data. But if you don't want to throw the data away, then you can store the data into the Azure SQL database, for example, or AVS or whatever, and then you can process the data using any kind of other tools like Azure Machine Learning, data lakes, and whatever. And then you can push the data to Power BI dataset to different reports, just 1 per 10 seconds, 1 per minute, and combine it with the streaming data, with the history. Yeah, so you can still have the streaming data, store this data, and push data which you want in frequency which you want to the same dashboards with all the trends, with the history, enhanced with the machine learning algorithms. Yeah, you can imagine what you can do with that. And then the final dashboard can look like that. That's for the more complex scenarios. It depends what you need. Yeah. So if you need just once per minute push data into the reports and automatically reflect, then the best way is the easiest way with the pushing data. And if you need more, then you need to be familiar with this concept. Okay, I think now it's time to show you some real demo. So I will ask Adéla to show you something.
Do I have a question in time?
Yeah, I think so.
So you showed the Power BI deployment within the Azure stack, right? And is it also possible to run Power BI on premise and use a different tooling in front of it?
Not in real-time scenario. Not because if you want to use Power BI with the real-time data, then you need to use the Power BI service, the cloud service, and you need to use then only the Power BI REST API, and then you are still in the cloud, and then you can use for the streaming. Yeah, for the streaming, I would say it could work to just say like a connect me on the different streaming data
like
model. Yeah, you will see maybe just Adéla, if click on the dashboard, and you will create the.
I will create it.
Okay, so later
No,
Adéla will show you how to create the dataset. And
My question was whether this is just a service in Azure or whether it's some like software, some application that could be installed.
Currently, it's I would say I have never tried to be honest, but I think you need to use Azure Stream Analytics if you want to use the streaming data with that. But I'm not sure for 100%.
Okay, so I will show you how easily you can create this streaming dataset. So I just click create, and I pick streaming dataset, and it will be API. So, and now I have to name this dataset, so it will be machines.
This scenario show you the pushing data, how to
Yeah.
create a pushing mechanism.
Yeah,
This is
and
done.
now I have to think about the application behind it, because I need to name, because this streaming dataset will be a table, so I need to name columns correctly. So the first one is name of machine.
In the meanwhile, before you will type all the columns, this use case is based on the real use case for the company which produced the plastic components for automotive. It's called ITV Pronovia. It's in the welcome dish. They asked because they use Power BI, and their management asked the users or business users if they can create some kind of real-time dashboard which will they use in mobile applications to show how the production actually works or how it behaves. It was just maybe we asked them if it's just about for better sleeping or for which reason, because it's just show all the machines, how they produce, how many quantities, and which OEE is currently in the level, and nothing like advanced. But they really requested, and the managers have the cell phones with the real-time data, which show them if some machines is broken up or how much quantity it produced in last 20 hours or whatever.
So now you can see the JSON file or script, and I just hit create. And now, as you can see here, I will see this dataset. So I just reload the page, so we see it here. And now I want to create some report. So I just hit create report, and I just click there some. Okay. Let's say that I want to know how many products they made, and some column chart which will show me how many machines are in current state. And now you can see that all is blank because I didn't start the application. And so I just save the report.
Awesome.
Just for now. And I will create also a dashboard. So. And compile. Just a minute. So now you can see that there is report and the dashboard. But before I will start the application, I just go back to the dataset and I will watch the API informations. And there you can see the push URL, which is it refers to this dashboard, to this dataset, and it's the endpoint of the application. So I have to copy this URL and put it into configuration file. So here.
This is our generator of the pushing mechanism with a configuration file where one of the parameters is the URL. The other parameters is frequency, which it generates how many machines it has, and so on.
And now I hope that it will work. So I just start the application, and now you can see how it's generated data. So let's go to the dashboard and see.
It works!
Yay! So now we can see the products are racing.
Okay.
And
So when when you just don't think about the code behind the generator, because it's something what is maybe the most advanced in this scenario. But in the field, but you saw that it's just mostly the few rows which calls just the functions from the library. But the creating the report and data set is just a few clicks. So it's worth trying.
And when you have this dashboard, you can ask a question about your data. So I try to ask some question about the data. So,
What's the temperature today?
Quantity in time. So now I can see what is the quantity in time, and I
Pure
can,
magic.
Yes, it's magic, and I can paint a visual to the dashboard. So let's take a look, and here is it. So magic is done. And now I will show you some another scenarios. So let's go.
We have seen nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. And to this dashboard, which is the dashboard for the eTail company. And now I just start the application. Maybe I don't know. So I just do the I hit record.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I removed it. Maybe I put it on. And this was the case which we made for the eTail company. They see the machines and in which state they are, which product I made, by quantity and by this OE. And they can really use it.
That behavior doesn't make sense. Yeah? Just the state of machines will not change from 0 to 1 every second. Yeah? Just but
the order is different,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's the thing, because it's sorted by this OE. So
Yeah.
that's why.
So mainly you will see that it's working, and then there will be peak. And that's something what you are interested in, and the same with the rest. Yeah? So that's about it. And yeah, about the OEE and the quantities, it's aggregated from last shift, from the beginning of the shift.
Okay, and we also had another scenario, which was built for the Exclu, which is a company sort of.
It's actually a startup which creates the it's not application. It's
Like
stuff
device,
for
maybe.
It's a
because
device,
It's a
yeah.
device.
it's a device for measuring sugar in blood. Yeah. And this use case was created for one conference which we supported this company to showcase their application, which sent data in real time from all the devices to the dashboard. It's just for the showcase. It's not the real scenario, but nice to see how it works, and also it attracted the people around the booth to go and try it.
And that is strawberries.
Yeah. So that's how easy it's creating the nice looking reports without much technical knowledge with the Power BI, because Power BI is about you don't need to be very technical. You just need to think analytically, and then to create the reports and the stuff for the management for the decisions. So that's it. Okay, so thank you.